Okay, I can't believe I'm saying this, and I'm not gonna lie, y'all, it's kind of embarrassing to admit this too, especially after months of documenting my writing journey on YouTube. But I'm just gonna say it anyway. Y'all, I am deleting my second draft of my book and I'm starting all over again. Okay, y'all. Grab your tea, grab your coffee, grab whatever, because y'all, we need to fill each other in on where I've been with my writing journey, because I feel like it's been so long since I made a writing video. I think the last time I made a writing video was late October or early November, but there's a reason why I haven't been posting a lot of writing videos like I should, because I have been struggling mentally with this book. I've been working on this book for 3 years because it's been on my head for a very long time. And it wasn't until later I decided to write it. Y'all, it's like a terrible relationship. It's like an off and on again. Couple that are together again, they break up. That's what it feels like with my book. Back in August of this year, I have been documenting writing a second draft for a long time. I have been struggling to write a second draft because I have been dealing with perfectionism, the inner critic, and honestly, I didn't really know what I was doing when it comes to the second draft. And many times I have attempted to write the second draft, it always been a fail. And that's why it took me so long until this year, 2025, to actually write the second draft for real, or so I thought. My second draft is not even a real second draft. My second draft is the 1.5 of a draft. It's literally just a bunch of placeholders, incomplete chapters, characters feeling a little bit sloppy. It's just a hot mess. And I'm gonna be so honest, I wasn't going to share that with y'all. I was gonna keep it to myself because I was so embarrassed. Because I just documented all that stuff through months with y'all, and only for me to just have a sloppy second draft. And I was like, I'm not supposed to do that to y'all. I'm gonna be straight up and honest with y'all. My second draft was not a real second draft. It sucked. So for today's agenda, we are going to be finishing up our outline on the table view, and I'm going to be finishing up Act 3. I just had the final image. Those are the last two beats that I have to do, and I want to say that I'm excited to do this, but I'm a little bit annoyed, like I said earlier, because I just feel like I'm just doing the same loop over and over again, and I can't get out of this loop. So I'm gonna fight through those annoyed and angry with myself feelings and just get into this little writing session I have to do. And you know what? Try to learn that there's a lot of writers out there that redo their drafts and probably hate what they wrote, but yet the difference between the ones that get published and the ones who don't, that they stay with it, that they keep working on their stories even though they have went through a lot of trials and errors. And I feel like that's what I'm going through right now, a lot of trials and errors, and I'm learning what a second draft is and what it is not. And I had to learn that the hard way after months of wasted time, but now I know. So I'm trying to be optimistic here, y'all. I really am. So what I like to do first before I start any work with my project is I like to practice write for 10 minutes. I like to go on those free prompt generator websites. I like to use those to help me practice writing. So I do that for 10 minutes, and then I like to go into my writing session also because it helps me keep the creative juices flowing. Maybe it help me come up with new ideas, think outside the box. But anyway, I'm going to stop yapping and I'm going to get right into this writing session. second draft is done. I think one of the main hurdles why I struggled with the second draft was also the ending. I was just never satisfied with any of the endings I had. And I feel like this time, I had to admit, I feel like this time is a little bit better because now that I've done it so many gosh darn times, I have a better understanding of what I want the plot to look like and who I want the characters to be. I forgot to mention this to y'all, but what also makes this whole process worse, I don't know if it's just my internet is really bad or my laptop or it's just Notion, but outlined the whole act ones, the opening image, the theme stated, had tiny little paragraphs within my table view. And I came back to check on the stuff I had written down for Act 1 and Act 2A, only to find out it deleted all of the stuff that I worked on the other day. I was like, are you joking? I was crashing out for a second, y'all. I was searching, refreshing the page, going through Notion history, trying to figure out what the heck happened. Thankfully, I didn't do a lot of stuff that day on Notion. So that's the good news of this. So I'm going to stop right there and come back later. So this is just basically milk, water, and ice at this point. I have a love and sometimes a hate for a brown sugar shaken espresso because I just feel like the goodness of it just doesn't last long enough. I feel like it becomes watered down so fast. Maybe I'm not drinking it fast enough. I don't know. But anyway, y'all, I have never in my life have fought the inner critic so bad. I was sitting in there and I was going to use Abby Emma's live stream that she did the other day. The whole entire time I was just sitting in there. I sat there for the first entire sprint. I just sat there, just looking around, drinking coffee, and just thinking. The reason why I kept sitting there and just not doing anything because the inner critic could tell me, Hannah, it's going to suck. It's terrible writing. It's going to suck. It's going to be as bad as the other attempts you had. And I kept thinking to myself, also, I'm going to fail. I failed to write the second draft multiple times because I said before, and I mentioned it multiple times in my videos, that I had tried to write the second draft of my book in the past and I always failed at it because I didn't really understand what a second draft was, and I feel like it wasn't written well enough to be considered a second draft, and I just feel like it's gonna be another failure. So I just sat there just lost and I felt stuck and frozen, even though I prepared notes and I've done this before and I know who my characters are and the plot is, but I still feel like it's not enough. And then I just worried myself, is my character's internal conflict strong enough to carry the story? I think sometimes what holds me back too is my overthinking and perfectionism, because instead of enjoying the story, because I read a quote, I can't remember what author said this, but the writer has to be entertained too. And instead of entertaining myself and just enjoying the writing, enjoy the ride, I was just too worried about what other people would think. Literally, the whole time I was writing, I was someone think this interesting and there's enough action in this. And I was just thinking about all the wrong things. I should have been thinking about, you know what? I'm having fun. I'm doing what I love. I'm sitting and drinking coffee and writing. To me, there's no other better thing I would rather do than just sit around and write and drink coffee all day. And I just felt like I ruined that moment because I was just so worried about what other people's opinions are and what their thoughts were. And I forget that this ain't the final draft. This is literally draft 2. And that's what's hindering me from getting to draft 3. I'm too much in here. And I don't know, I just feel like sometimes I self-sabotage myself I'm not trying to throw a pity party on here, y'all. I'm just being very honest with y'all. But it was a struggle. So I got around, I don't have my laptop on, but I remember it was 1,300 words, which I am proud of myself. I feel like obviously I need to write a whole lot more. I'm going to come back to it later today when I get home. I was going to stay a little longer, but let me tell y'all, coffee will go through you. Oh my gosh, that's probably TMI. And I just finished the rest at home probably this evening or tonight. Honestly, I don't know what I'm gonna do now. Part of me thought about get a Chick-fil-A for lunch or maybe getting a crumble cookie, but at the same time though, I just want to go home. I don't know why, I just feel kind of lazy. But anyway, let's just go home or drive and figure out what we're going to do next, and let's continue the rest of this vlog. This food smells amazing, y'all. I went and got some Zaxby's because I was starving. At first I wasn't starving, and it took me a while to figure out what I wanted to eat, and then my stomach started talking to me, told me everything I need to know. So I got me one of my favorite meals, the Zaxby plate. It's a 5-finger plate by chicken finger sauce and teriyaki sauce, y'all. Oh my gosh, that is so good. If y'all don't do that, get your chicken finger sauce and teriyaki sauce. Let me tell y'all, that is so good. Before I drive off, I might just sample some. I'm gonna have a little bite. I like to make sure everything's in a bag because I can't tell you how many times I have been to a restaurant and they got stuff wrong. So you gotta make sure you check though. All right, so let's see what we got. We got our Zax sauces that are spilling out the bag, and they gave me 2 forks. I went and got the other fork for nothing. A Zax sauce. I like to get plenty amount because I love sauce. And I got my plate. Woo, that was good. I am starved. I'm about to eat one piece. I also got strawberry lemonade as well. I love getting strawberry lemonades from restaurants, but I swear y'all, Chick-fil-A, you can't tell me otherwise, has the best strawberry lemonade out there. Cheers. They're hot. It's fresh. It's so good. I'll say the rest when I get home. Because I need to watch a Christmas movie. I'm in the mood. I don't know what I want to watch because I already watched Home Alone. I watched Home Alone 2. I watched Polar Express. Maybe I watched How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Yeah, it's just so hard to watch a Christmas movie in my house because not everybody in my house is the biggest fan of Christmas movies. Whatever. I'm going to go watch a Christmas movie, and then tonight we're going to get back to writing, hopefully. It just depends on how lazy I get, y'all. Just finished our nighttime writing session. I had a total of 3,433 words written in chapter 1. And let me just tell you, it got a little easier writing tonight. At first today, I struggled really bad. Even though I got a good amount of words, I feel like it's pretty good for chapter 1. And there's one scene that I need to go back, add a little bit more detail with it because I feel like it needed a little more detail. Yeah, it's been a real battle writing this book, trying to get through the second draft. I have been trying to write the second draft for a long time. It's been so hard to just figure out, and I feel like after I get over the hurdle with the first chapter, the rest of chapters will come a little easier, hopefully. But I just hate the feeling that I've been down this road before. I've been outlining, planning, and revising characters before for the second draft, only to just get halfway through the second draft or write a very incomplete second draft and it just be a total mess to the point where I just want to start all over again. And it's not even my first attempt at trying to write the second draft at all, and it just feels kind of embarrassing that I made a video about going to this third draft and looking over it. I feel like I need to start over. It's been on my mind for a while now, and I really want to get the second draft done. But anyway, I don't know why. I just feel like it's a little bit better. I feel like the chapter came out better. There were some scenes that I didn't want to let go of. And I was like reading other authors talk about that. Sometimes you gotta cut out the chapters you love the most. You gotta cut out your favorite scenes, cut out your favorite lines for the sake of the book being good. Sometimes you just gotta get rid of the scenes that you love, which was really hard for me because there were some scenes and the moments that I just wanted to keep. But I realized that chapter 1 couldn't be better if I didn't get rid of that part of the chapter and put it for later. But anyway, y'all, I think that's it for today's video and for the video for 2026. Which I'm really excited for. I have so many plans and ideas I want to do for this YouTube channel, and that's what I've been working on too. Not just writing my book, but also other projects and things that I'm really excited to release. And I just got a really good feeling, y'all, that 6 is going to be a really good year. I don't know why. I just got a feeling that 2026 is going to be a good year. And that's why I released my video. This is going to be you we finish our book, something like that. I released a video on my YouTube channel about it. Check that out. Hopefully I remember to link in the description below. So anyway, with that being said, y'all, I want to end the video right here, and I'm just going to enjoy the rest of my night. Maybe put on another movie to celebrate me, get it through the first chapter. This is the last time I'm going to write second chapter. I don't care. I had to lock in and get this done. No more rewriting, no more stopping and quitting because the inner critic says it sucks or I'm worried about what other people think. None of that. No more perfectionism. None of that. I need to get this book done. So anyway, y'all, with that being said, I hope y'all have a Merry Christmas and a good New Year. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you love videos like this. And I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye.